Hello guys, what's good? Welcome to day 2 of the 30-day Excel online training. Today we'll be working on some very basic operations on Excel. Operations like cell, column and row formatting, merging cells, and of course working with wrapping text and also some date format. So I will just start with that. Now I actually figured out that most of the things I want to cover in this video are demonstrated on our course outline sheet here. So operations already like merging here, like wrapping text and co are already demonstrated there, and formatting cells are already demonstrated there. So I will just start with us redesigning this particular course outline. So in subsequent video we'll do other things that should be covered today. So let's start. I'll just copy the content here, content of this course outline form, and click on copy. Now there are of course shortcuts for a lot of these operations, but maybe we'll treat that in another video. But for copy, if you need to know, if you get to know, it's Ctrl+C for copy, just like it is for other Microsoft suites. So I'll click on here to create a new sheet, and then I'm going to right click to paste what I've copied, so we don't have to actually type everything one by one. Now if you notice, Excel has a lot of pasting options. For the first one, it pastes the data, pastes the formatting, pastes formulas and things like that. But the one we want to actually use here is just to paste the values, because this would basically just give us the content of what we have, so we can work on this instead of just tapping it afresh. Then of course there are other paste options. You can paste formulas, you can transpose. For people that actually work a lot with numbers, you know, transposing is just swapping rows and column values. So you can transpose, you can paste the formatting of a cell and things like that. There are a lot of pasting options. So but we've just pasted values, so we can work on this. Then we can format it from here. First I'm going to do is I'm going to resize the size of the columns. So yes, this is column A. I'm resizing the column. Now for column B, you notice it's very long, so if I want to resize it through, all I have to do is I drag to the very end, which would not make it look pretty. So what I will do is I can resize somewhere halfway. Now note, if you actually want to resize to the very end, all you have to do is come here, then double click. It's going to do the resize for you till the length it's supposed to. But basically what I need to do does not need to go to that height. It won't look pretty that way. So what I will do is I will just resize it a little bit. Hold on, so I can actually see the cursor. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so now I've resized it back. Now if you notice, some of these text are actually flowing out of the cells, and that's what happens in Excel when you are typing, when your text is longer than the length of the cells. So what I'll do here is I'll just select this row B, this column B rather, and then come here to wrap text. Once I click on the wrap text, if you notice, what happens is all the cells that actually have length longer than the cell width, what happens is it breaks down in line to the next line, just like you're typing in Microsoft Word. So that makes it look a lot better. Then from there, I would like everything to be centralized. If you look at this, this text actually, if you notice, it's aligned downwards, but I would prefer them to be centralized. So what I'll do, I'll just select all that with Ctrl+A. Okay, then I'll click here. It's going to align its middle to the middle. So here it aligns everything to the middle here. And then the course outline. Now if you notice, subjects like course outline are supposed to cut across the text. So I'll highlight the two rows or the two cells and then merge. So basically what merge will do for me is it's going to merge two cells together. You can merge cells, you can merge columns, you can merge rows. For example, if I pick like this, I can just merge everything into a single cell by clicking on the margin center. Okay, so I'll do the same for beginning, or for the beginner rather. Okay, I'll merge. Yeah, so okay, for intermediate also let's merge, and for advanced. Okay, so we've merged. Let's adjust the size of the cell a little bit, and then from here we can decide to give it some outline. So basically what I've done is I've told it to outline all the borders of my cell. If you notice that there are a lot of options here, so you can just highlight the border, the bottom border, the top border, but here's what I used to highlight all the border. Okay, and then I want this text to be bold, all my headers to be bold, so I'll click on bold for this, also for this. Now you can work on multiple cells at the same time, even though they are not together, so you can highlight them together. What you just have to do is hold down your control button, okay, then click on all the cells you want to work on. Yes, that's intermediate, advanced. So once I click on bold, if you notice, they will all go bold together. That will make it easy for you. Okay, so what else? We need to make this a little bit bigger than others. So our text size here by default is 11. Okay, so let me make this one like 16 and see what it will look like. Okay, 16 should be fine. Then I'll make the sub headers say like 14. So when you want to make a size, a text bigger or smaller, all you just have to do is work with these numbers. Or if you want to change the way it looks, then you can actually just drop down and pick whatever kind of font type you want to use. Of course, just like it works in Microsoft Word and Co. Then I want to give my cells some colors. Let's say I want to give this one a peculiar color. So let's say I can choose to call it blue, which is different from what we have, but it's just for demonstration purpose. So I'm clicking on blue. Black doesn't look too bright on blue, so let me change the color of the text. I can just come here and change the color to this, to white. Okay, then here let's change the sub headers. The sub headers, let's look for a good color for them. Just a little bit like sky blue. Okay, yes. So black looks better on sky blue. Then also these columns, we can decide to update the size, the colors of the columns. Okay, what should we use? Okay, a little bit of gray is fine. Then there, because we are going to be working on macros and other things, for the 10 days, then I need to match everything together, so it spans across the 10-day duration. So I'll just merge and centralize, but it's centralized now by default. It's merge and center that works like that, but I don't want it to be center, so I want it to go back to be left aligned. So I click here, it aligns back to the left. Can you see? Yes, so we continue. Okay, here also the match function will last for 2 days. Go back to the left, and then we'll do the same for the conditional formatting days. Okay, so here you can see that for day 6 and day 7 you're actually doing conditional statement operations and things like that. So okay, so yes, I think this is what our course outline looks like, apart from the colors we've changed. If you look at it here, it's basically the same thing. Okay, then for here we didn't make it bold. Here we've actually used it bold also. Now you can also do other things. If you want to underline, of course, this would underline your text, or if you want to italize, this would italize your text. Okay, so most of the formatting operations you will be doing are actually within the home ribbon. So most of the when you want to format text, format appearances, most of the operations you will be doing are contained within the home ribbon, so you can just play around with it. Yeah, we've talked about bold. Of course, if you want to italize your text, you can make it a little bit italicized. You can change the sizes, or if you are not sure and you want to check how the sizes are moving, so you can just be clicking on this, then it will be changing the sizes little by little, so I can decide when to stop, or if I want to go back, you click on the other one to make it go a little bit, to reduce the size a little bit. So that's how it goes. Of course, this is for center, if you want to align to the center. Now note the difference. This is for align top, align center, and align down. Let me show you what I mean. Now look at this text. You notice they are both aligned to the center vertically. So this is for vertical alignment, while this is for horizontal alignment. Vertical alignment in the sense that you are dealing with top, middle, bottom. For horizontal alignment, you're dealing with align left, align center, and align to the right. So here, if I click here now and I tickle with this, can you see day one goes top, goes to the middle, goes down. Now if I click here now, you know, it's aligned left naturally. So if I click on the second, it aligns to the center, and here it aligns to the right. So you can just basically play around with it as you would prefer to. Also, if I want to just reshape, you know, I just double click on it and it resizes as it is. There's an extra space. Okay, that's to correct through it. So it resizes as depending on the height of the column. Just like when you double click on the column, it resizes based on that. Okay, so this resizes based on the row, while this resizes based on the column. Yes. Okay, so in our next video we'll be talking about number formatting. This we've actually talked about text formatting. So in our next video we'll be talking about number format.